What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J, and this is Ready to Love, The Last Resort, Episode 3 recap. Now, this week we get to see how everyone's going to interact. We had our first eliminations last week. Now you get to go on your little one-on-ones with somebody, and it's not going to be as much group dates, but there is going to be a few in there. But this is your chance to find somebody you're interested in and try to get to know a little bit more from them before they eliminate you. But before we go any further, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, you want to be a part of this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. And you know, Mo, I'm not going to hold you up, so let's jump right into it. This is Ready to Love, The Last Resort, Episode 3 recap. As I was mentioning earlier, this is your chance to be able to go out there and get your one-on-one time, be able to separate and get to know who exactly you're talking to. Now, we remember Raymond was in the bottom two to get eliminated last week. So he knows at this point, I have to go out there and really exert myself and let these women know, hey, I'm here and I'm really looking for love. Are you looking for love? So one of the people that he first sits down and talks to is Naya. Now, they going into it, so he has to be, hey, I'm Raymond, this is this, saying I'm ready to love. So he's talking to Naya and he's pretty much telling her about his 5 kids. And she's like, okay, that's interesting. I'm not saying these women aren't interested in him because of 5 kids. It's more of the things that he say that goes along with it. No one really cares that you have 5 kids. Yeah, that's a lot of children. But at the same time, if I love you, then I'm willing to accept what you have. And for Raymond, he's always using I was a musician. He's like, hey, brother, you're 52. You got to give that up, man. That's not going to be able to carry you through this show at all. Or even in life when it comes to dating. Yeah, we know you was a musician, but you're 52 now. So what's different from then to now? Like, are you really looking for love? Now, Nephew Tommy, he comes in and he's breaking down what's going to happen for this episode. So, ladies, you guys have the power this week, meaning you are going to be the ones who eliminates the guys. This episode, the ladies are in control. So they're hearing out every individual man, the ones they're interested in, and finding who they aren't interested in. Because at the end of the night, collectively, all of the women are going to decide on 2 people that are actually going to leave. So ladies, you have the power this week, and I hope my fellas they don't mess it up too bad, and you guys get to keep the ones that you're actually interested in. Now, it's not hard to see. We already know that Adriana and Rashid, they have a thing for each other. They already done dated. They already know each other. So now they're just getting more comfortable with each other. They're doing the typical, saying, oh, I don't know how to play pool. So Rashid's got to creep up from behind, saying, you got to put your hand on the stick. You got to shoot it like this. And she's like, I don't feel it. So these two, we don't even really have to go in unless they have a bad moment between each other. We really don't have to go too much in detail because we already know that they have a past and they feeling each other. But this too is going to be an interesting couple because I feel if they keep this up, it's too early in later weeks, later episodes. He's going to either talk to another woman and she's going to get jealous, or vice versa. She talks to another dude and he gets jealous. That's the only way I can see these two falling off. But right now, I got these two going far. Let me know what you think below. So now here's the opportunity. Everyone gets together and they decided, hey, we got this pool out back. Tonight we're going to have a pool party. That means all my fellas, hey, shirts off. Ladies, let's see the bikinis. Let's see the bodies. Let's see all the people looking good. Now, one thing about black people, we are all beautiful. We are very, very beautiful. Hey, and you put a whole bunch of us in one place, that's just a big group of beautiful people. My fellas about to get at the ladies. Ladies about to pick and choose who they want since they had a control. Pool party tonight, everyone be there. And hey, be ready because there's a lot of things that could go on at a pool party. One of the first dates we actually get to see is my boy Chris. He came in with the suit on, no undershirt, just cocky. Got that swag about him. That's KG Smooth, ladies. Now, he actually takes Anaya out on a date for kayaking. And for her, she's like, oh, I'm loving this. He has swag. He's getting me out of my natural element. I haven't had a date like this since I've been back in the dating game. So she's really feeling him. And Smooth, like, that's what we're going to call him, Smooth. He ain't even Chris anymore. He's just not KG, just Smooth. Smooth out there, he's just working his magic, doing his thing. But you can see that these two are interested in each other. And the kayaking, that's a very, very bold move for him right there. Because a lot of black women and a lot of black people, we don't deal with the water. But she's comfortable enough with him. Let's go out there. Let's enjoy it and, get to know each other. So these two, they really are connecting. That's going to be a couple that we're going to have to watch too. Naya and my boy Chris Smooth. My boy Mr. Brian, so he's a deep thinker. He actually thinks things through. And he's sitting next to Alex. Now, if you remember, they had their little going back and forth about being celibate. And she didn't really believe him. But he's trying to tell her, I'm at 40 days. And if you talking to a woman, if you're talking to a woman because you're genuinely interested in her, then that's all it is. If you're not trying to smash, if you're not just trying to have sex with her and then just move on, then you're going to see that, okay, we do have a connection and this could be something that we build on. So for Brian, that's all he's just trying to let everyone know. Like, it doesn't have to be about sex with me. I'm not on that anymore. If we do have sex, then all right, good. But that's not my main focus. I'm really looking for a woman. Now, Alex, she's looking at him, and she even says in her little one-on-one that, she likes that he's fun, he's a deep thinker. So this is something that she's probably not used to, or something that she's always been into herself but never found in another man. So Brian is doing this thing, and no one's really I haven't seen anyone that's really talking to Alex as much as Brian does. So I think that might be a little, little thing right there. During a group lunch, it's like a little group date. They got little finger foods. We get to hear a little bit about Simone. She starts to open up about her relationship that she had with her father. Now, her father was supportive, but he wasn't super supportive. If she came home with all A's on her report card and she had one B, he would say, oh, you did good. You had all A's, but you got that B. That's because you run your mouth too much. So for her, she never had a father figure that was super caring. Even if she did, she got a B. That's good, man. But for him, it wasn't good enough. It was never good enough. So that's one reason she got into being a lawyer. And she admits to everyone that it's hard for her to open up just because of her professional side and just the relationship she had with her father. So her dating is going to be a little bit tough on her. She did actually have my boy David as one of hers that she was interested in, but they just clashed in the beginning. But now they have an understanding of each other. So we'll see how that plays out between the two of them. Just when we got to speaking good about David, it all backfired. So him and Joy, they're talking to each other, and a little altercation came up because they're sitting close, and he accidentally points at her. So for her, she took it as a sign of disrespect. He doesn't know how to talk to women, but it's not like he put his finger in her face like this. He pointed at her and told her, I came back to talk to you, pointing at her. But she just took it the wrong way, and all the women, they were looking at it like, oh, that's disrespect. I mean, they were laughing about it because it really wasn't disrespect, but Joey took it that way, and I think one of the reasons she took it that way is because she's not interested in him. So if you're not interested in somebody, anything they do can trigger you to be like, But I mean, it is what it is. Let's see how it plays out for David, though. We just know Joy isn't on your list anymore. You might as well go back to talking to Simone and seeing what you can get out of that. Here we are with Raymond again. 52 years old. We know he has 5 children. We know he's a musician. We heard all that before. And all the women are like, okay, we need to go a little bit deeper. Now, you have 5 children. They ask, how many baby mothers do you have? He says 4. Then Jay starts saying, okay, damn. Okay, 4, but how many cities? Now, one thing, I like Jay. He's laid back, cool. I personally, as a man, I wouldn't ask that because I personally don't care what another man has going on in his life. It's not my business to speak on what another man is doing. Now, this is a competition, so that's why I agree with what Jay did, because if he has multiple women in different cities, now it's going to look bad for you, which makes me look good. Outside of this competition, I would never ever do this move, but Jay, you did the right move. This is a competition. You're trying to get the women. But fellas, never talk down on another guy. As long as he's not being disrespectful or doing anything to physically harm women, hey, it's on him. Let him do what he got to do, but you stay out of it because it ain't got nothing to do with you. Hey, it's pool party time, and the ladies are like, you know what? We about to do some push-ups in here, but the only thing we're going to do with these push-ups, gentlemen, you got to come about your shirts. And who's the first person to come about their shirt? None other than the dog, Anthony. He has a physical physique, you know what I'm saying? And what he did do that no one else was expecting is he caught Winter by surprise. So she's looking like, I ain't know Anthony had all that up on there, so I might be a little interested in him. So they get in there, and the good thing for Anthony is he works out. He meditates when he works out. So for him, he has a slight advantage. They all get down doing push-ups. My boy Anthony knocking them out like, we really gonna go this slow? Like, I'm trying to do more. Winter comes over, she sits on his back while he's doing push-ups. So these two, she likes the physical appearance from my boy Anthony. Now, Anthony, this is your chance. You got to step up. Got to move in there. Now you got to put in that work. She sees you got it. She sees you. You're a little bit bigger than me. She sees you got it. Now you got to work it. Now you got to work it. Because that'll be a good one. Winter a cute one, too. we got Rashid sitting down with the ladies at the table, but one thing that the ladies are listening to Rashid about is, oh, I have a pool table at home, but I just got it for decoration. I'm not that good at it. But we just seen you trying to teach Adriana earlier how to play pool. So what is it? Is it you're just trying to run game on the women, or what? What's going on, Rashid? Now I'm not in the competition. I don't really care what you're trying to do, but the ladies want to know, what are you doing? Or are you just bragging that you got money? Oh, you was at Nordstrom shopping for pajamas. Who really cares about that? Like, women aren't trying to hear that unless you're trying to show that you have money and you're trying to bring them in with money. That's not love. That's just lust and greed, really. Like, they're not really going to be interested in that. So it doesn't seem like Rashid's able to talk to women outside of Adriana. I don't know if that's because that's the one he wants or what, but the ladies, they really aren't feeling this, talking about all the money and all the things you buying. Fellas, don't use that approach. My boy David and Alicia, they're over at the infamous pool table and they're just going over normal conversation. He says he feels that if he's the man of the house, he will be in charge of certain things. And he's just saying, like, while we're in the talking stages, we're getting to know each other. But once we're together, I'm going to handle everything. So Alicia asked him, with you being the man and feeling like you're going to be in charge of everything, what do you feel about paying for everything in the house? Now, this is where David worded everything wrong. What he's saying is, you have children. I will take care of you and your children once we get to that point. But how he said it was, I had to take care of you and your kids. Pretty much he's saying before we get to that point, it's not up to me as a man to take care of you and your daughters if we aren't exclusively together and living together. So for Alicia, she didn't like that. I understand where David was coming from. I can see both sides. He just worded it wrong. What he meant was once we're in a relationship and we're together, moved in, then yes, I'll take care of the whole household. But in the dating stages, it's not my responsibility to make sure that your kids are fed and everything. Of course, I'll help take care of them, but I'm not responsible for that because we're not together. He just worded it wrong, and it's going to backfire on. You already know that it's going to backfire on them because these women, especially Alicia, she wants somebody to take care of her and her kids. It's kind of your responsibility too. You're their mother, and he's just coming in to help out. But it is what it is. Personal opinion. It's all on how you take it. I've seen a lot of things on social media talking about this. David was not wrong. Alicia was not wrong. He just worded what he was saying wrong. We have another one of the larger little group settings where everyone's sitting down and talking. And Mr. Edwin, smooth, man. I like him, man. There's something about him. He's just a smooth man. But what he brings up to the ladies is, I know you guys are in charge. You guys have the power. But we're not scared of you women. What we're saying is, we know that eliminations are coming. So we want a perspective from what you guys think of what needs to be handled and what needs to happen. And out of nowhere, Joy brings up a valid point. You guys know what's coming. So what are you going to do to fix that? Now that works. That saying is perfect for this situation, but we don't know what you guys are thinking in order for us to fix what may be wrong with us. So they're just going back and forth, and Naya's asking who's persistent, who's really after the woman that they're interested in. Now it's only day 2, maybe 3. I don't know what the days are, but this is only the 3rd episode. We don't know much. Now you can't just fix what you don't know. So I don't know how this is going to work for the gentleman, but there's an elimination coming, and y'all got to shake back. Y'all got to get right because it's coming, and 2 of y'all going home. Now we get a little bit more fun going on. So there's a Jenga set up, and it has pretty much a truth or dare. And you pull out the little Jenga block, and you show people what the question is, and you do it or you give a truth or a dare. Now, starting off, it was just fun. So Anthony pulled off one, and Anthony pulled one that said, "Who is the most attractive person here?" And we know Anthony has that energy, that charismatic energy. He says, since it isn't plural, me, I'm gonna say I'm the most attractive. So Denise, she says she likes that. He has that. I don't know what to call it, but he has that. That's what Denise says. Now Rashid pulled one, and it was telling him to kiss somebody, and of course he picked Adriana. My boy Brian, he got one, and out of nowhere he kissed Alex, and she liked it. She liked it. So the Jenga really opened people up. Even though we're an older crowd, we still like to have fun. We still have that child in our heart. We still want to be able to go out, laugh, have fun, enjoy our time with people. And I think this game was I won't say an icebreaker, but it was an icebreaker. It's got people to open up. Now we're past, okay, let's just talk, get to know each other. Let's, you know what I'm saying, let's touch on people a little bit, give a little kiss, you know what I'm saying, see how people act, how, you know what I'm saying. So it was actual fun game for them. They took a couple shots of, you know what I'm saying, the champagne. So it's really loosening them up. And adults being adults, let's have some fun. You know, we're not here just to find love without the fun part to it. You gotta have fun when you're in love. So this is a good way to open it up right here. If it seems like this episode's been focused on Raymond, it's because it has. He was in the lower two last time, and he's just trying to get his name out there. So he sits down with Adriana, and he's 52. I think she's 30, 31. So she's one of the younger. She is the youngest, and he's the oldest. So there's an age gap there, but she's actually hearing him out and talking to him because she showed a little bit of interest in him. The only thing that started going wrong is they started talking about marriage, and for Raymond, he's been through the relationships. He has the 4 baby mothers, and he's saying, I don't believe we need to go to the townhouse, the courthouse, and get a piece of paper to say that we're married. Let's just, saying if we're together, we're together. Now, for Adriana, she doesn't look at it that way. If we're going to get married, then let's get married. Let's go and get the paper. Let's get everything done. Raymond's more of a, let's just roll with it and see where it goes. Not saying that he's against marriage, but he's not looking for marriage right now. So for her, it's just rolling with it, hearing that. She's heard that before, and hey, I mean, any guy, well, I'm not even going to say that because then that'll be going against my morals, but I've said, let's just go with it and see where it goes. I don't know what any other men say, but normally I'm just, I'm just feeling it out to see where it goes. I'm not really rolling with it anywhere. I'm rolling to where I know I'm going to stop and I'm going to get off this ride. I'm done here. So for Raymond, it's not looking really good for him at all. Now, here's where it gets interesting. All the women, they come together. Now we get to talk with Tommy about who we're feeling, who we aren't feeling, because Eliminations is tonight. They get to pick 3 men that will be at the bottom. At least 3 men, 2 will go home, 1 gets to stay. So all the women, they go around there talking about who they're feeling, who they aren't. Winter brings up Anthony. He surprised her. Denise is like, oh, I knew he had what he had up under his shirt. They start going around. They're talking about every individual person. They talked about David and how he said first where he put his finger in Joy's face, that was strike 1. And then when he brought up, I got to take care of you and your kids, I already went over him mentioning it wrong. He stated it wrong. So for that, all the women there were like, you're supposed to love that woman. Whatever she has, you're supposed to be able to take that in. And he's not saying he wouldn't. He's just saying in the beginning, in the talking stages, that's not his responsibilities, which it isn't. But Brian, that's strike 2. I don't know how you're going to shake back for that. Then Mr. Raymond, they get on Raymond talking about not being married, having the children's, and not wanting to get married. So Raymond, that's another strike for you, my brother. The interesting thing is, Denise and Adriana, they kind of get into it. Adriana's mentioned there are some older women that are looking at her like, eh. So the reason they get into it is because Denise, she's not feeling Rashid. Now, you remember she said he was cocky and she didn't like that. Adriana, he's treating Adriana different than he's treating other women because that's what men do. When we're really interested into a woman, that's who we're going to treat like our queen and uplift her above everyone else. So Adriana's like, he's not like that with me. But all the other women are saying, oh, he's bragging about buying clothes. He's just bragging about all kinds of things, and they're not interested in that. So the thing for Denise is she compared him to an old ex, and you should never compare somebody to your ex because nobody is the same. They may have little of the same tendencies, but you never compare them to each other. Now it's time for the ladies to pick 3, and Tommy tells them, listen, ladies, we're all adults here. So if you're not feeling somebody, it's best you tell them to their face, not through a text message, not have someone else tell them. If you're feeling them, you tell them, hey, I'm interested in you. I want to talk to you. If you're not feeling them, tell them I'm not interested and you have to go. The ladies have to pick 3 men. And these men are David, Raymond, and Rashid. 3 women have to go out there and tell them who is staying and who is leaving. Because there's 2 of you leaving, 1 person staying. Let's go see how they let them down. Our first person tonight is David, and unfortunately, the taking care of the 2 children came and nipped him in the butt. And Denise is sent out to let him know that The women weren't feeling that, and you shouldn't say that to a woman with children. Like I said, he worded it wrong, and I knew it would come back and get him. So David, I was going for you too. You one of the younger dudes. I was rooting for you, my dog. But hey, unfortunately, you gotta go home, man. It was good, man. You're gonna find love back in Texas because there's gonna be a lot of women that are gonna be interested in you, and it might be best for you to find someone that doesn't have kids so you and her can build from there. But you'll find love, my dog. Man, don't even worry about it. It's just a TV show. You good. Next up on the chopping block is Raymond, and unfortunately, Raymond had to go too. His whole not getting married, they say that that was the main reason, but we all know it was him having the children, and the marriage was just sprinkles on top of it, man. You're 52, you have these children, you're not trying to get married. What are you trying to do? You're just trying to find love and be around. So it didn't work for Raymond, and unfortunately, they had to get rid of my dog, the OG Raymond. Hey, you gonna find love, man. There's gonna be someone out there for you, because there's someone out there for everybody, man. Just hold your head up and keep it moving. Get back on that guitar, get on the road. You might find love out there, man. Last but not least is Rashid. So they send Winter out, and she's talking to him, and he's kind of nervous, because who wouldn't be nervous if it's elimination night and you're one of the men that get picked to go out there? So he's sitting out there, and luckily for him, Adriana really likes him, and there's maybe a couple of other ones that like him, but we haven't really heard anything from him. But he gets to stick around. The only thing I say is, man, quit talking about the money. Talk about you. See what she wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? Talk about her. Learn about her. Don't brag about what you got, man. Because ain't nobody trying to love you if that's all you got to bring is, you know what I'm saying, material stuff. Be you, man. You can stay on there, man. You the tall guy. You can make it, man. So Rashid gets to stay, man. That's our 3 for the night. There you go. That's episode 3 of Ready to Love, The Last Resort. We got rid of 2 people tonight, Raymond and David. Hey, man, it's unfortunate, but someone's got to go. Fellas, we got the power next week, so you get to decide. I need y'all to comment below who y'all think should have been eliminated. Who were y'all looking for as, like, what couples? Let me know below. And hey, that's episode 3, man. If you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell. Thank y'all. We on the road to 5,000 subscribers. See y'all next week. This is Ready to Love, and I'm Mo.J.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.